One of the most debatable questions nowadays is if everyone is going to be replaced by robots one day. The advance of the IA industry has caused concern in the society. For example, everyone has watched or read titles like Amadeus by Yuval Noah Harari or I, Robot by Isaac Asimov, or any title of the cyberpunk genre in which the human race lives under the shadows of robots. Nevertheless, far from the dramatic answers of the science fiction, it's important to mention that it's not the first time in which the society faced this problem. Actually, it has happened 3 times in the past. We can analyze the historic patterns in order to try to answer these questions. Let's check!
The most popular revolution for sure is the steam revolution, when the steam engine was invented. That change in the industry revolutionized the life in an unimaginable way. Lots of workers had lost their jobs and several industries went bankrupt. However, more new jobs were generated with respect to the lost. The only that was needed is a change in the skills of the workers. The new engines needed operators and support. One of the most affected sectors was the equine industry and related, because the horses for transportation were replaced for charcoal cars, but on the other hand, the automotive industry was started and with that, millions of new jobs.
The other important moment in the industry history of the world is the implementation of electricity in the society. This time something curious was happening because this time a big controversy started. Exactly like nowadays with 5G technology, you could find a lot of flyers with no electricity propaganda. Even some people argue that this technology could kill us in the future. In this time happened exactly the same. Lots of jobs had lost but new were created. For example, the bluffer job was completely replaced with the electric illumination in the street. Something interesting is the fact that for this change, the new skills that were needed required more study and specialization. However, some of the jobs created they're still active nowadays.
Then we had the internet revolution in which the communication was basically reinvented. Jobs like postman and many kinds of salesman disappeared, and in the administrative branch something important happened. All the personnel had to be trained for using the new technologies. This time, beside the people being replaced, we had a phenomenon of relearn how to do the work because the innovation caused a suddenly change in the skills needed for the business. Also started a new preoccupation because each time was more difficult imagining. Imagine the position that people could have in the new revolution. People that were already working or graduated didn't understand the new technologies completely. Meanwhile, new workers knew exactly what to do.
Today is repeated the same phenomenon. The relevant skills for working change with the innovations in technology, but it doesn't mean that enterprises have to upload their workers. Rather, it's a question of update the skills of the employees. New abilities are needed for build and keep the AI industry. For example, programming, machine learning, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. Most of the people don't even comprehend what AI is. Then, in consequence, they cannot imagine what position could have the people in the future. The fear is natural, but as many jobs will be lost, several more will be created. However, there is a problem. For this update, we need to have education focused in the futuristic skills and for this time internet connection. This could be a problem especially for less developed countries.